We do have Veil of Summer on the sideboard that happens to counter Gifts Ungiven. The Ritual, okay. And now we can let the Dismember resolve. And we pop our Relic of Progenitus. And see if they can finish out the rest of this turn by killing us. Time to yield. It is time. We are here for match 5 with Valakut Awakening Amulet, Red Amulet. Can we get the 5-0, or are we just going to have to stick with our measly 4-1? We will see. The time has come. I will see you guys in the games. All right. Final match time. Let's go. On the draw against Hugo Friedis. Isn't that one of the guys on the leaderboard? Man, the pressure's on already. We got a turn 1 Amulet. We would like to have a bounce land, but we have several lands here. On the draw as well, I think we do keep. We have many potential draws to allow us to cast a 3-drop sooner rather than later. Tap Steam Vents, interesting. Alright, let's play our Ghost Quarter into Amulet. And pass it back. I wonder if our opponent is on Storm, or Living End, or I don't know, we'll find out. Storm, okay. Well, we're not well set up to beat Storm here. We have an Azusa, but we don't have a way to cast it. We have Bajuka Bog in our hand, but that doesn't really do much. So I guess we're playing out this Castle Garenbrig and passing it back. Alright, opponent, do not kill us. Serum Visions is a good start for us. Another Electromancer, okay. So I guess they're planning on going off this upcoming turn. Cavern of Souls. That one could be relevant in pushing our Titan through a remand. Alright, let's play Awakening as a land. Play our Azusa here. And we'll play Awakening and Bajuka Bog. So our opponent does not know that we have Titan this upcoming turn, and they might think they have another turn because of remand if they have it. And then the fact that we hit this cavern basically means that they couldn't see it coming. Alright. They're attacking with the Electromancers, no blocks. I imagine that we might be able to do some things with Valakut triggers during our next turn here by packing for a Dryad. Might consider getting Vesuva copying Cavern of Souls as one of the cards. Our opponent is going for it, so let's see what they have. Gifts Ungiven, okay. We do have Veil of Summer on the sideboard that happens to counter Gifts Ungiven. Alright, our opponent has 2 floating, so they are not strapped on mana here, I think. We're probably supposed to deny them a card draw from the Morphos and only give them 1 casting of Pass and Flames by putting these 2 in the graveyard, so. I have to imagine that at this point it's basically just deterministic that we're dead, but we'll let our opponent do it. Basically, if you're not familiar with this deck, they're going to cast a bunch of spells all in one turn up until this storm count gets as high as they can get it, pretty much. And they're going to cast a Grape Shot to do damage to us equal to 1 plus the number of spells cast this turn. So they're trying to Grape Shot us for lethal. They just have to get the Grape Shot here with a Gifts Ungiven, and we'll basically be dead. I think they have a second Pass and Flames to flashback Grape Shot, or they just have the Grape Shot ready to go. Alright, well, that is lethal. Cool. Storm is a bad matchup for Amulet, in case you were wondering. Alright, Explosives is good against specifically Empty the Warrens, but I don't know how much I expect Empty the Warrens to be impactful. I like the idea of being able to kill Empty the Warrens tokens or like Barals and Electromancers with Fire Spout. Clearly, we want Dismembers, Veil of Summers, Relic of Progenitus, all this stuff. Our opponent could have Aria of Flame and like Blood Moon. Those are things that one could consider. I don't know if I want to play around that, though, as usually our opponents just game 1 Storm Plan is good enough. Alright, Explorer is going to be too slow here. Awakening is probably a little too slow here as well. 1 Explosives is probably fine. Cavern and Bog are both great. Radiant Fountain is unlikely to matter. I think we could trim a 2nd Awakening. And maybe Fire Spout is just not that great, but I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot. We can trim 1 Grazer. That doesn't seem the worst. We don't really want to overflow on Arboreal Grazer. Why did I just submit with 62 cards? What is wrong with me? Oh well. We'll play first. We have a turn 1 Relic and a Fire Spout to clean up some Gobos. I mean, I guess we keep this. It's extremely reactive and extremely slow, but I mean, can we afford to mulligan? I guess not. Might get punished, but I still don't know what possessed me to submit 62 cards, but that's okay. Our opponent mulligans to 5 over there. Alright, let's shock in our Stomping Ground here and play our turn 1 Relic. Pass it back. That one should make our opponent's gifts piles a little more difficult. Alright, I think it's probably fine to go ahead and get a Growth Chamber into play here. I guess we want Gruul Turf so that we can cast Fire Spout, so... Pass it back. Nothing, huh? Okay. Tolaria West. Pass. This has been a very intriguing game so far. I guess we want Stomping Ground, so if we draw a castle, then we can slam a Titan, although it'll probably get remanded, but... Sure, I'm okay with it. And I'm going to shock so we can hold up Pop Relic and still cast Valakut Awakening. Still don't know whether we want to keep this Fire Spout or not. Our opponent hasn't committed any creatures yet, and it's looking like they won't do so until it's going to win them the game, so... Let's go ahead and cast this Awakening. And go looking for some additional cards here. We'll get rid of the Fire Spout, the extra Relic, the Stronghold seems like a fine one to get rid of. Maybe even the Bounce Land, although the Bounce Land is going to let us cast Titan in a few turns. Now let's keep the Bounce Land, I guess. Draw 4. Cool, cool, cool. Now we have a Dismember as well, which might be helpful. Amulet. That's a nice one. Alright, let's play the Amulet. Can transmute for a Cavern of Souls. How do we feel about that? Interesting. Probably not worth trying to slam a Dryad, as it'll just get remanded. I think going for the Cavern of Souls makes a lot of sense, so... That way we can just top deck actual Primeval Titan. Still holding up Dismember and the Relic activation here, so... Alright, let's get this Cavern. Pass it back. They opt. That one's fine. We'll Relic them. So can we slam the Titan this upcoming turn? That is the question that I'm thinking about. I'm not really sure of the answer, however. I don't think that we should. I think it's okay to Cavern through the Dryad here, and then just play, like, Valakut afterwards and start trying to get Valakut triggers. I suppose we can leave mana up if our Titan does resolve and is able to attack and all that stuff. Our opponent could have Echoing Truth to bounce our Titan in response to the haste, however, which is something to think about. We could get Bounce Land plus Valakut and pick up, like, a tapped Bounce Land so that we can start going off with Dryad. Or even just pick up the Cavern of Souls so we can Cavern through Dryad and get Valakut triggers that way. That doesn't seem too bad. I think we do go for the Titan this turn. It could be wrong. Every turn that passes by in this game is really bad for us, so... Our opponent could have Unsubstantiate, I suppose, or Aether Gust, but I'm not playing around it. I don't know, maybe we should. Rough. Nah, I'm not playing around it. We already played Cavern Naming Giant, so cool. It resolved. All right, let's not go for the haste here and get blown out that way. Let's get a Valakut and a Growth Chamber. Do we still have that Gruul Turf? Not Gruul Turf. Golgari Rot Farm is the one I was thinking of, but we don't. All right, let's get Growth Chamber. Let's not go for the haste. It doesn't really accomplish much here anyways. And we will pick up... I guess we could be dead to Blood Moon here, perhaps. Not much we can do about that. All right, let's pick up the Gruul Turf, I suppose. Sure. And we'll pass. Holding up our Dismember, holding up our Relic activation. Desperate Ritual. Casting, I have to assume, Gifts Ungiven. All right, let's get this ritual out of their graveyard first. Things first. All right. Gifts resolves. All right, so our opponent has gone for the standard pile. However, I think they could have issues getting the right amount of mana here. Especially since they use a ritual to cast gifts. So it could be correct to put Pyretic and Desperate in their graveyard, and then try to kill a creature in response to them getting a bunch of mana. And also, that allows us a little more freedom to pop our Relic when we want to. Okay, I think that's the plan I'm going to go for. It could be wrong. And I don't think we pop Relic just yet. They're starting off with a Desperate Ritual. No creature at all. Okay. Manamorphose. Okay. Brawl. Okay, there's the creature. That one's fine. We will dismember it. They're just going straight for the Passing Flames. Alright, let's go straight for the Dismember. The Ritual, okay. And now we can let the Dismember resolve. And we pop our Relic of Progenitus. And see if they can finish out the rest of this turn by killing us. Time to yield. Interesting. Well, I suppose if they had exactly Grape Shot and Remand, they might be able to get us this turn. Another Brawl. That one's kind of annoying. Right, let's just hope we're not dead this turn. Because I think we have our opponent dead this upcoming turn, thanks to Dryad. So, Grape Shot. Well, we're dead. Good games to our opponent. Had to get slaughtered in the last round for the 5-0. Now we are 4-1, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. I've had a ton of fun with this list, and of course, we got paired against a bad matchup in this last match here, so there's not much else that we can expect from the Storm matchup, especially since our opponent played it so well. Yeah, about the list. I don't know if I have anything in particular to say about it. I kind of would feel more comfortable having an additional white source in the deck, like a Selesnya Sanctuary or a Gemstone Mine, perhaps. But I don't know what land I would cut. Let me know what you think in the comments if you would make any changes, especially if you have any suggestions for that in particular. I was pretty impressed by Valakut Awakening. I've also been a little unimpressed by Fire Spout, but maybe that's unfair to the card. I generally have pretty low expectations from Fire Spout, so I kind of think that maybe just having additional dismembers would be better. Yeah, I don't know. This was really fun, and I would definitely like to put this deck through the ringer again, play it through another league, and if that's something you're interested in, then let me know. I think I will most likely end up playing Valakut Awakening and Amulet in a future video anyways, so thank you for joining me this far. I am glad that you guys have made it to the end of the league with me, and 4-1 is still successful in my book. So, I will see you guys for the next league. This is Redface Menace, signing off.